If I had Lyme disease and co-infections today in 2025, what would I do to heal my body? I get this question all the time, and I totally understand because things have gotten very overwhelming in 2025. There's so many options, there's so many different ways that you can go with this. And today, I'm going to clear all of that up so you know exactly what I would do personally if I had to heal my body in 2025. By the way, I've had Lyme disease and co-infections in 2016. It actually turned my life upside down. I was fainting randomly out of nowhere, and then I found out it was Lyme disease causing my heart rate to drop. It was, I had the EM rash, luckily, so I got the diagnosis, but I went through hell. I spent a year trying to figure out my health and get myself back on track so that I could live my best life, so that I could put more energy and focus into my loved ones, into my business, into my career and my life in general. And it was very difficult. And since then, I've actually helped over 3,000 other people fight back against Lyme disease. And it's been a wild roller coaster of learning so much about the human condition, about health, and about Lyme disease itself. So I'm here to help you because I've been there and I've worked with so many people who have been there as well. And now it's no secret anymore what to do in order to fight back against Lyme disease and how to get better even when nothing else has worked for you in the past. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do if I was starting over. If I just found out I had Lyme and co-infections today, here's exactly what I would do step by step. Step one is I would accept that it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And I know this now that I've been through this. This is mental. This is a mental game more than it is physical. I would remind myself, okay, this is how it is. We're in this to fight. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to try our best day after day for as long as it takes. This is a process. This is not a one size fits all. This is not a quick fix or an easy button like Staples, right? This is a hard, long process. And just knowing that gives me an extreme leg up against this thing because I know that, it's not just going to be like a quick thing. It's actually a process. It's something that I have to devote myself to. It's something I have to focus on. It's something I have to have consistency towards. And knowing that is that's so crucial for people to know. And it's so often I see people saying like, oh, well, I did this for a week and it didn't get me better. And it's like, a week? What are you talking about, right? This is not a one and done type thing, unfortunately. As much as I wish it was, wouldn't it be great if we could just boom and it's done, right? We just take this thing and it goes away. That's simply not how it works. And I really, really wish it was for you, for me, for everybody who's ever been affected by Lyme disease, all of their loved ones, everybody in the world that has been touched by Lyme disease has to learn that this is usually not a very quick, boom, it's done type thing. And for some people, they take antibiotics, they get better pretty quickly, but it's my belief that those people are living with Lyme disease rather than, optimizing towards feeling like the best version of themselves. It's my belief that if you've ever had Lyme disease in your life, you should probably focus on getting better still to this day. Because from what I've learned and from what I've seen, it doesn't just go away from antibiotics overnight. I mean, it can for some people, but it's more rare than it is regular, especially if you know anything about how these microbes operate and how the microbial world in general operates. You'll know that just taking some antibiotics isn't going to just turn everything around and fix everything. But regardless, let's talk about how there is an emotional weight to this as well, right? There's fear that comes into play. When I'm told I'm infected with Lyme and co-infections, if I don't know what that means, I'm like, what is that? What am I supposed to do? Right? I feel afraid. I feel like there's no answers. I feel like there's no roadmap. There's nothing there for me, right? There's no process, but there is a process. Now that we've created one for people, I know the process. So I have an advantage by knowing that process. But normally there would be so much fear involved. And there was fear. There was actually the most fear I've ever felt in my life when I had Lyme disease back in 2016 because I didn't know anything about it, because it was affecting my heart, which automatically, if you know anything about health, you know that heart disease is one of the leading killers in the United States. And I was immediately thinking, what if I don't make it out alive from this? Because my heart rate is just doing crazy stuff, making me faint. This can't be good long term. People have died from Lyme carditis related complications where their heart stops working correctly. This is a thing that can kill people. And I thought maybe, I wouldn't make it out of it alive. And at the time, I had a daughter, I had a wife, I had a son on the way in my wife's belly. I was extremely terrified. Like, I can't even put into words the amount of fear that I was feeling. And it was not good. All I could think about was, I need to be there for my family. I need to survive this so that I can raise my son. Because it's my belief that I need to be there for my son and my daughter to grow up, right? I firmly believe in the father being in the household if it's possible. And maybe it's because I grew up with my father being around so much, and he was my best friend and he was there all the time. And I just saw how important he was to me and how powerful that was. And I just always wanted that relationship for myself. I always wanted to be a dad. And now I was a dad, and I had the opportunity to continue being a dad and have a brand new son on the way. And now my life was being threatened in my mind, right? Now, I'm not saying that I was 100, that it was like 100% that I was going to die or something, but I felt like it was a real emergency. I was scared for my life. Whether or not I was being accurate in my thoughts, that's a totally different thing. But the emotional urgency was there because I was afraid for my life. Now, this time around, if I got Lyme disease, I'm not sure I would be that afraid. I would understand the emotional urgency. I would understand that there could be like some shame and some guilt around it. Like, now I have to focus on my health, which means I'm not focusing on my family and my business and all the other stuff I got going on. So there might be some shame around it, which happens for a lot of people. I would just reframe it in my mind. This is not a punishment. This is a process that the body needs to go through in order to get better. And that alone would lift some of the weight off my shoulders. And I now, knowing what I know, I would feel confident moving forward towards getting better without feeling afraid for my life and, scared that I'm going to die. Step number 2, I would build the foundation first, right? I wouldn't use any advanced crazy protocols right off the bat. I wouldn't spend thousands of dollars on labs. I wouldn't do any of that. Instead, I would focus on simple things like hydration with minerals, making sure I'm pooping regularly. I would focus on sleep and my circadian rhythm, i.e., when you wake up, when you go to bed every day, and I would make sure that stays very consistent. I would eat simple, very digestible food like fruits and vegetables. I would eat more of those. I would fix my diet to make sure my diet was dialed in and as healthy as it could possibly be. No fried foods, no gluten, no dairy, no alcohol, no caffeine. I would cut out any unnecessary foods from my diet immediately. And I would use gentle movement and sun exposure. I would go, for walks probably every day. And I would use that time not only to walk and to move my body and to get sun exposure, but to breathe deeply and to calm the nervous system and stay in a very calm, restful state as often as I possibly could. And really, I would emphasize stability over intensity. I would emphasize staying calm, staying consistent, staying focused without being like, I have to do this, I have to like force this, I have to take every single thing in my power, I have to find out what's going to fix this. I would just simply go through the motions, and I would stay calm and follow the process that I know exists. Step 3, I would use a simple herbal protocol. Now, if you know me or anything about me, this won't surprise you at all. I would use 3 herbs: Andrographis, Japanese knotweed, and cat's claw. These are the 3 herbs that are in the Lyme Wars recovery kit. And since today I'm so lucky to have access to as many of those herbs as possible because of limewars.com, I would simply sign up for a monthly herb box that would just come to my house, and I would take it every day. And I'd start out slow. I would take 1 of each, then I would increase it to 2 of each, and I would just continue taking those 3 herbs, unless something happened, or some type of problem happened along the way. I'm pretty sure I would just take those 3 herbs consistently over a long period of time. And I'm lucky enough that I know that now, and I have full access to limewars.com, so it would be very easy and straightforward for me to do that. I'd probably sign up the same day that I got Lyme disease, where most people don't. Most people go through a long process of trying all this other garbage and wasting a ton of money on stuff that doesn't really work, or wasting money on stuff that's promised to help them get better that costs thousands of dollars, before trying the thing that costs under $100, which I don't fully understand, but I'm trying my best to help people get to that realization faster so that they don't have to waste thousands of dollars and waste months of their time. Instead, let's get you on the process that works immediately with the simple core herbal protocol, the 3 herbs that really have the most science and the most data around them when it comes to Lyme disease and co-infections. Now, I would not take antibiotics, and that might be someone's question. What about antibiotics? Nope, I would not take them. I didn't take them the first time I had Lyme disease, and I wouldn't take them now because I don't find that they help with Lyme disease. Antibiotic resistance is a real thing, and Lyme microbes got very, very good at antibiotic resistance. They've been around for a long time, and they know how to insist, which means roll up into a little ball, wait for the antibiotics to clear the system, and they roll back out and start causing the same symptoms right over again. And I've seen this happen so many times that I can't erase it from my memory, right? I've seen clients come to us with this same story over and over and over and over and over again. I took antibiotics and I felt better for a little bit, but then the symptoms came rushing back a month later. I took antibiotics and I never felt better. Those 2 stories come to my inbox multiple times a week. It's so common. And the crazy part is that the traditional medical community will never discuss this or talk about this, and they'll never, honestly, they're not trained in herbal protocols or in natural protocols. So they think you're crazy when you tell them that you're using herbs. When I went to the doctor, and at first when I was dealing with Lyme disease, I told them I was taking 3 herbs, and they were like, okay, I'll write it in my notes. Anyway, like, they just didn't care at all. They didn't understand what I was doing. But then once they saw, oh wait, his heart rate's going back to normal. Oh, his body's doing well. Oh, he doesn't seem to have an infection anymore. His skin problems went away. His joint pain went away. His sleeping 18 hours a day went away. They just kept saying, just keep doing whatever you're doing because it seems to be working, which is a good doctor. A good doctor knows to say that. However, I've seen other doctors try to pressure people into taking antibiotics or pressure people into doing things their way because they don't understand it. And it's not their fault that they don't understand it. Don't get me wrong. They're just not trained in it. Our medical schools don't train people on traditional herbal protocols. Ancient medicine is not taught to those who go to medical school, and that's completely fine. It's not their fault, but still, I would just begin taking those 3 herbs: cat's claw, Japanese knotweed, and andrographis. And I would be very confident that they would work very well because they've worked for me very well in the past. And now, I've seen it work for thousands of other people. So it's really hard to unsee that when I'm talking directly one-on-one with people and they're telling me, yeah, I was feeling like a shell of myself. I couldn't even get out of bed, and I started using these herbs, and now I have my life back. I'm laughing again. I'm spending time with my family. I'm going on hikes. When you see that happen, it's impossible to unsee that. And it makes me very confident that the herbs work really, really well. And it's the reason why I continue to show up and talk about them so often here on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, because I need to share that message with the world, because I know that the traditional medical system will not. But the thing is, sometimes people just hear the word herbs and they go crazy with it. They overdo it. They throw in a bunch of different herbs and try every single herb under the sun. And don't get me wrong, the 3 herbs that I just mentioned are not the only herbs that can help. Herbs are very powerful, wonderful, natural source of all types of different compounds that can help affect our body and create positive change in our body, especially when we're healing. So it's not surprising that there are other herbs that work just as well or do just as much for our body in different ways. But these 3 herbs that I mentioned, again, they're cat's claw, Japanese knotweed, and angiographiscus, simply make the most sense. They have the most direct benefits that go with Lyme disease microbes, right? First of all, they've been shown to kill Lyme disease microbes better than antibiotics do, actually, in vitro. And secondly, they have the benefits that are required to heal from Lyme disease. For example, Japanese knotweed helps to increase blood vessel size and increase their dilation and increase blood flow, while Lyme microbes try to penetrate through endothelial cells or blood cells. And so that bloodline barrier can be penetrated by Lyme microbes, but when we have increased blood vessel size, and it improves our healing, it improves the blood flow, makes it much harder for the Lyme microbes to do what they're designed to do. And so that is why that's the foundational herb that I request the most for people to use, because it works so well at directly impacting the effect of Lyme disease microbes. We chose each of these herbs for a reason to begin with. And I'm not the one that made this up. I'm honestly just following the advice of other master herbalists and doctors who do believe in an herbal approach. And that's how we created our protocol. The one that I used to get better, I then just made it widely available for the most people possible at lymewars.com. Go check it out if you're interested. I'm sure you'll love it and you'll get great results just like all the other people that we've worked with. Step 4 is I would regulate the nervous system. See, I didn't know that this mattered as much when I first started. I learned about it later on in my healing journey, probably like after 6 months of going through hell with Lyme disease. I started to learn that, hey, just slowing things down, breathing, keeping yourself in a calm state of mind, even adopting a meditation practice or using deep breathing exercises can help your body get to a parasympathetic state where it's resting and repairing rather than fighting and flying, right? Fight or flight mode. Adapting that into my system, into my life, into my processes actually helped me improve even faster. Once I started meditating every day, I started to feel much, much better. And I see that happen with our clients all the time as well. So breath work, having boundaries around your screen time and around how long and how often you use social media, stillness or quiet time in your life is so powerful. Your body knows how to heal. It just needs the required space and time to do so. And breathing and having a meditation practice or doing things that calm your body down so it knows that you're not in a battle for your life, even though you kind of are, really helps it to improve and to send blood to the correct places, send blood to the detox pathways, to the organs, to make sure that it's repairing and rebuilding and actually healing over time. Instead of when your body thinks it's in a massive fight all the time and you're constantly stressed out, the blood goes away from the organs, the blood goes other places, and it goes to your limbs, really, so that you can fly, run away, or fight someone. And we don't really need that to happen right now. We need to stay calm and focus on having our body repair itself and heal itself. And so that's why it's so important to focus on the nervous system and to have a plan in place that will allow you to activate the parasympathetic nervous system every single day, ideally multiple times per day. And it doesn't have to be complicated or hard. It can be something so simple. It could be just taking a moment to scan your body, to think about your body and how you're situated, right? So like if you're feeling like tensed up, like your shoulders are up and you're just, you feel sick, you feel like, oh man, I'm just not feeling good today. Then when you realize that, you can just breathe, let your shoulders drop, feel your feet on the floor, be present in the moment for, even if it's just for 2 seconds, and take some deep breaths and then continue moving about your day. Just that very, very simple, straightforward process can actually improve your health and improve your nervous system response to the insults that are going on inside your body. So that is number 4 that I would do. Number 5 is I would get support without abdicating responsibility or giving over my power, right? So let me explain what that means. We need people in our life that are going to breathe into us. We need people in our life that are going to support us, lift us up, help us see other angles that we might not see ourselves. We need people in our life that are going to provide us with emotional support and safety to release tension and to release emotions and to explain what we're going through to them. Now, this could be in the form of a best friend, or it could be in the form of a therapist, or it could be in the form of a parent or a sibling, right? It could be in any form that you see fit, but it has to be people that you trust in your corner that you want to talk to, right? And a lot of times this could be a mentor or a coach or someone that just wants to see you succeed. And that's why it's so important to avoid isolation, because it's really easy to feel isolated and lonely when you're dealing with something like Lyme disease. Most people won't understand what you're going through or what you're talking about. They won't get it. They won't see what you see. They'll look at you and say, "You look fine. You seem fine. What's the big deal?" Right? But deep down, you're hurting. Whether it's you have no energy, or you feel brain fog and you feel like your brain isn't working correctly. It feels like you're underwater sometimes. Or maybe you're just sleeping so long, like at random parts of the day, like you fall asleep in the afternoon and just lose your whole day because you're so exhausted, and for you don't even know why you're exhausted. And people just can't seem to grasp this or understand what Lyme disease is and how it affects them. So even I've seen loved ones, like, husband, wife, just totally not understand their significant other when their significant other is going through this process, and they're just like, "You're fine, like just brush it off, like just get over it," kind of type of mentality. And that's not cool, because you are going through something. You do need support. You do need someone who understands. And so that isolation is very important to avoid, but so is over dependence, right? You can't completely hand over your power to somebody else, whether that's a medical doctor or it's just your family member. You can't just over depend on someone else to support you 24/7 and take all the weight off your shoulders. So you want to look for people who get it, and but not just practitioners, but community, right? You want to look for a community of people that get it. And that's why we created the Lyme Wars community, where there's dozens of us right now. I'm sure it's going to be hundreds soon, just together in this community, talking about what we did to get better, talking about what helps, what hurts, what we're going through, and also sharing when other people say, "Oh, well, I tried this. Did anybody else try this?" And you'll get comments. You get people telling you, "Oh, I did that," blah, 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 right? We can chat in there. We can talk one-on-one. We can talk in a group setting. And it's a great place to share and to grow a community, so that we're supported, but we're not over dependent. You want to be around people that get it. And, that's why a big part of what we want to do at Lyme Wars is not only build a community online, which is where it starts, but we want to build that community offline as well. We want to meet everybody in person, get people together, get us sharing ideas and help and support and love with each other, so that we can have a bigger impact beyond just, giving people herbs or giving people advice. We want to be able to give people real connection and real support. So that's why we're building out the Lyme Wars community. And I want to invite you to join us. It's completely free. There's a link in the description below this to go join there. And we also have our free guide that's in there. We have free courses. We have all types of free resources that you can use there. And you can chat with me and everyone in there all the time. So go check it out. It's completely free. Again, it's in the description directly below this video. So if you scroll down and go into the description, you'll see join our Lyme Wars community, and just click that link and then request to join, and we'll approve you to join. in a matter of moments. So go check that out and see if you're a good fit. I think you probably are if you're watching this video, and we'll help you get better from Lyme naturally, and we'll connect you with hundreds of other people who have done the same and who want to help. See, it's really important to have one or two trusted guides than just, chasing every single opinion, because you can find dozens and dozens of health opinions here on YouTube or anywhere online very easily. But you've got to have one or two people who you trust, who you follow, who you listen to. And, I'd be honored to be that person for you. That's why I show up and do this every day, so that I can build a relationship with you and so that I can help you get through this, because I've been there and I've helped lots of other people get through this as well, including myself. So I just want to be there for you. And if that's okay with you, just go join us in our community, and I'll see you in there. And I can't wait. But finally, stay grounded in your own experience. Don't let other people's experience sway you too much. This is your life. This is your health. And this matters to you the most. So to wrap this up, in 2025, to heal from Lyme disease, you don't have to do everything right? If I was fighting against this thing again, I would do everything that I mentioned here. I would support the foundations first. I would use a simple herbal protocol. I would regulate my nervous system, and I would get with a group of people who understand me. And I would honestly do all of that through LymeWars.com, because that's where I know people really care, people have really been there, and people have really gotten better. I know that progress comes from showing up consistently, learning about my body, right? I learned so much about health and about my personal body during the first time I went through this, and it comes through consistency and finding my rhythm. And that's all that I would focus on, is finding the rhythm, finding the process, and using consistency on that process over time, knowing confidently that this will get me better. And if you're at square one right now, that's okay. Just simply take the next step. Whether that's joining our community or it's getting your Lyme Wars recovery kit, there are simple things that you can do that are cheap or free that can help you get better from the inside out. And I'm here to help you every step of the way. And if you need a first step to take, download our free recovery guide. It's available. It's called the Lyme Survival Guide. It's available inside that free group that I told you about. So just go join that group, and then you'll have full access to that PDF document that'll give you 6 science-backed steps that walk you through the step-by-step process to get better from Lyme disease and co-infections. And I'll be there every step of the way. If you have any questions, I am here for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, check this video out next. I'm sure you'll love it, and I'll see you there.